Okay, you guys, what is up? King Lightning is going to do a very quick Bleach review. Bleach chapter 493. Now, this chapter is only 2 key points. Now, before I get into the actual chapter in of itself, what I am going to say is that from now on, my reviews are going to be later, and the reason why is because I'm going to wait for the manga stream scans. And these scans, in my opinion, are better. Simply put, if the quality of the manga chapters are better, then my understanding of the chapter is greater, and thus my manga reviews are going to be more accurate. So that's why I'm going to wait for the manga stream translations, because in my opinion, their translations are on point, they're very good, and yeah, that's pretty much it right there. So that being said, this chapter of Bleach, 2 key points. The first key point is going to be the Hueco Mundo fight with Kirge and the rest of the group. Now, what I will say is that Kirge, once again, impressive, alright? Impressive. In my opinion, I don't care what no one says, Kirge is impressive. He's pulling out the Quincy basics to the extreme. What happens here is that the halo ring around over his head activates, and then all of a sudden, all this reishi starts absorbing into his cranium. Yeah, pretty much, you know, right in his brain, you know, on some weird shit. And what ends up happening is that Ion starts to attack. Ion attacks Kirge, but then winds up being absorbed. His body starts to break down into reishi particles, and Kirge absorbs Ion, and then assimilates some of his body parts into his own structure. So the wings Kirge have Ion's eyes, he has Ion's jaw, he has Ion's left arm, and he's looking like a freak of nature. And I'm like, damn, Kirge, okay. So, and in my opinion, this is going to be the strongest Kirge is going to be. As of right now, I don't see any more power-ups from Kirge. So Kirge, in my opinion, this is going to be his max strength. So, yeah, that's my opinion. And Kirge starts to assault Sun and Miller Rose. And what happens is that these two bail. They grab Apache and they bail. They wind up getting right next to Chad and Orihime. And then Sun does some weird optical technique where she immerses everyone in the area in a optical illusion that's surrounded by a reishi barrier. That's surrounded by a spiritual pressure barrier. And what happens here is that they decide to hide and try to avoid Kirge. His abilities could kill them without him lifting a finger. So what winds up happening is that they hide out, but it doesn't work because Kirge just goes in there and he's like, there's a clear power difference. He starts to absorb everyone. And of course, Chad's like, you know, what do I do? What's going on? I suck! Yeah, no shit, Chad. So, basically, they're all getting reishi absorbed, and then here comes Ichigo to save the day! Ding! Save the day! You know, he slices off half of the halo around Kirge's head. And Ichigo, and here's the thing, I noticed that Ichigo wasn't suffering from the effects of the reishi absorption. Now, this could be for 2 main reasons. One, because Ichigo has full bring, which in of itself is a form of hollow power. Because if you remember, Urahara said himself that Chad's ability was very similar to a hollow's, and considering the fact that the Fullbringers themselves had their powers because their parents were attacked by hollow, this means that Fullbring in of itself is a form of hollow power, or in of itself, hollowification. Now, it's not full-blown hollow, you know, like mask over the face and stuff, but it is a form of using hollow abilities in order to strengthen your own, in order to strengthen your own powers. So, in my opinion, it could be because of that reason. The mixture of the Fullbring / hollow and the Shinigami powers prevents Kirge from absorbing the mixed reishi of Ichigo. Or it could be because Ichigo is in Bankai. Now, the reason why I say that is because Kirge, when he was fighting Ichigo, he yelled out Bankai, oh no. So, and Kirge was really sweating. Like, he was really worried because Ichigo was in Bankai. Now, maybe the Bankai has some nullification properties against the Quincy. And this is the major reason, or this could justify the reason as to why the Quincy have items that can supposedly steal your Bankai. Because the Bankai, over the course of the centuries, has developed into a nullification, or has developed some form of nullification process against the Quincy's ability to absorb reishi. So that could be the reason as to why. I'm not too sure. And again, the reason why I say this is because there has to be a legitimate reason as to why the Quincy's would want to seal the Shinigami's Bankais. So their Bankais may have a adverse effect on the Quincy's ability to absorb reishi, or them to power up into their complete holy form. I'm not too sure. But Kirge was really worried when Ichigo went Bankai, and that means something. As of right now, I'm not too sure, so I'll back off as of right now. But that's number one. And number two is gonna be the Empire King. The Empire King. I love this guy. I love this dude. The Empire King, and my only issue with the chapter was that they only gave Soul Society maybe 3 or 4 pages, and that was it. So, but that being said, Empire King, what happens here is that fake Aizen, Hidemoto, I believe, him and Yuki are waiting for this oncoming attack, and Yuki's very worried that they're not going to sense the attack coming. Hidemoto reassures Yuki that all the major casualties and all the major action is taking place near the gates, and where they are, they'll be able to receive a message of the oncoming attack. And so Hidemoto, you know, is trying to, you know, like, make Yuki feel better. But then what happens is that they turn around and bam, Empire King. He's like, that's a good plan. That's a good plan. That's a good theory. But I'm here. So I'm like, whoa, you guys. So Empire King, and he's in the sky just chilling. And basically, Hidemoto tells everyone, well, yo, no, it's cool because he's in the sky. He's still behind the, I believe it's called the soul membrane barrier or something of that nature. And so he's trying to make everyone feel better because the Empire King won't be able to hurt them behind the barrier. But then Yuki's like, no, wait, hold on a second. No, he's in the barrier. And then bam, explosions out of nowhere. And then the Empire King says a final quote, which is somewhere along the lines of, war is a terrible thing, or something or like around, yeah, something of that nature. But that being said, this chapter, in my opinion, it's good. It's between solid and good. And the reason why I say that is because I was looking forward to seeing like much more of Soul Society, but at the same time, I do enjoy Kirge pulling out the basics, pulling out the Quincy basics to the extreme. So what I'm going to say is that this chapter, in my opinion, it's between solid and good. Again, I was hoping that they would show a lot more Soul Society in this chapter. However, it does appear that they are starting to shift towards Soul Society and the Empire King. I want to see this I want to see this boot. People are saying that it's a boot. I'm thinking it's an airship, but, you know, this boot, I want to see what this boot is doing. So, you know, Soul Society right now should be in chaos. The captains should be running in like every direction, trying to contain the situation at hand. And maybe we'll see some captain on strong Quincy versus action, maybe. So, that being said, King of Lightning, rate, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day.